Welcome. In front of me I have the OPPO Watch S, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the watch and its specifications. So let's get started. We do have some little paper wrap around it. Come on. Oh, ripped it a little bit, whatever. Now, the back we have pull tabs, which come off in one piece. Thank you, Samsung. Watch and learn how you're supposed to do it. There we go. So, in here we got the watch straight away. For some reason with the S, I was expecting it to be a tidbit smaller than it actually is, because this is a pretty sizable size of a watch. To be more precise, a 45mm one. Oh, there we go, now it's booting up. Now for my tiny little wrist, this is way too much. But this isn't for me, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, next in here we got some paperwork. You know what, let's just keep it in here. No one really cares to read this anyways. And in here we got our charger. Just a puck magnetic one. Doesn't have too much weight to it. And has already some kind of grime on it. I can catch the light. You can see like something right here. See if this wipes off. It kind of does. Maybe not fully, but to the best of my ability. Let's see how well this holds. Definitely watch won't be really... Yep, it's kind of sticking to it. Not by like... Not substantially, but hey, should be still easy to just kind of smack it on there and it should attach relatively correctly. Now here we have the massive display. And that's not a button? Okay. How do I go back? Oh, there we go. So you can see this is a pretty substantial screen. So this is a 1.46 inches in size with a resolution, most typical one, 464 by 464, AMOLED display, 3000 nits of peak brightness, 317 pixels per inch. So display wise, this is what you would expect from a nice watch, a smartwatch specifically. Honestly, the brightness here is more than I would have expected. Most watches don't really go up to like 3000 from what I can usually see. So this one is a bit of a standout feature. Another nice thing about this watch is the fact that it's not actually a super chunky one. I mean, it is a wide watch at 45mm, but in terms of thickness, it's only 8.9mm. So it is very thin for a smartwatch. Which obviously in terms of comfort and just having it on your wrist and just having it like almost disappear on it, this is pretty damn good thickness of a watch. Very surprising, to be honest, as usually you would expect something a little bit thicker, or maybe you do with smaller watch faces, as this one, like I said, is 45, so it is a massive one. Now, in terms of the processor powering this device, we have the Snapdragon W5 Gen 1. So basically what I think most smartwatches use. Let's see, I want to check out 2. Just so I can be like double sure. Uh-oh. There we go. I changed my mouse responsiveness. Oh, no, never mind. So for some reason I was thinking of the Samsung Galaxy watches, which I thought used this, but turns out they don't. They use their own Exynos. But I think, yep. So the OnePlus Watch 3, for instance, also uses the same processor in here, which for that watch, it works pretty well. Now, as technically OnePlus and OPPO are almost the same company, not necessarily, but they're owned by the same parent company. So their devices are very similar in terms of what they can do. And obviously, they do share a lot of similarities between like different devices. So kind of curious what will be the version of this from OnePlus. Now, let me just quickly get back to my little page. There we go. So one last thing, apart from the processor, we have 339 milliampere battery right here, 4 gigabytes of internal storage, no expandable storage, obviously, and no real mention about the RAM. Though most devices have something about like 2 gigs, and they already seem to be running pretty damn well with just 2 gigs. So, yeah. Another one thing that I want to point out, we do have a rotating crown in here with a relatively nice haptic feedback behind it. It's not the best that I felt. I think things like the Apple Watches do have a pretty damn good haptic feedback for just generally like tapping in and just haptic feedback for the watch. But this is, I would say, pretty good in general. I've felt much worse on watches that were supposedly a good watch. So this one honestly doesn't really strike me as anything horrible. It's above average, let's put it this way. Now, one last thing that I want to check out is the price of this watch, and it is coming at about, what is that, $300 US. Let me quickly check. So no, $250. Now that is at a current exchange rate, and that includes tax. So if you're shopping for this in US, this might be in, a little bit different price for you than what I'm telling you. But where I'm from, it equates to about $250 US with tax included. So it's honestly not that bad of a watch for the price. Seems to be pretty affordable. Now, one more thing that I do want to check is the Watch 3 from OnePlus. And that is about the same price, actually. Now, the reason I'm pointing out Watch 3 right here is because the Watch 3 is actually a very damn good watch. And one of the upsides is the fact that it has a, like double the battery? Nearly double the battery. So one of the standout features for that OPPO OnePlus Watch 3 is the fact that the battery lasts literally several days. This has half of that battery, so it won't have as good of a battery. So you sacrifice a little bit, I guess, of battery life right here. And additionally, I feel like the OnePlus Watch has a little bit better build quality. It looks more high quality while costing the same amount. So that's something to take in consideration as well. Now, the downside there is OnePlus Watch is going to be thicker. It's coming at 11.8 millimeters instead of the 8.9 that this one has. So this one is super low profile. So that's one thing. And it has a little bit more distinct kind of look to it. You know what, instead of actually talking about it, I'm just going to bring up a picture just so you can see how that looks like. So OnePlus Watch 3, boom. And let me just crank up the brightness. Oh, seems to be good enough. And so here you have it, how it looks like. It's this kind of design. So it looks pretty nice, I would say. Has a pretty good design. Could even be considered like a dress watch if you're looking for a smartwatch to be, wore with some more official kind of clothing. So yeah, it looks pretty nice. And you do have the two options. You have the stainless steel, I think it is, or whatever they're using, and the darker kind of finish to it. As you can see, this I think has a different shade to it, a bit darker. So either way, you kind of sacrifice something and get something, so you don't have such a low profile watch like this one, but you have a bit chunkier watch. Also, one more thing, it is in terms of size a little bit bigger as well. So the OnePlus one has a size of 47.6 by 46.6 compared to this one being 45 all around. So it is this one is going to be a little bit smaller watch in general, though the screen size is also smaller counterintuitively on the OnePlus Watch, as the frame of the casing of the watch is just a bit more rugged, bigger, thicker. So you kind of sacrifice something. And lastly, I think the weight is going to be also bigger. So this one is coming at about 39 grams, so that's pretty light, while the OnePlus One is basically 10 grams heavier at 49.7. So if you're looking for a light, big display watch, this could be a great option, but you sacrifice battery life. If you're looking to have just great battery life while offering nearly the same kind of feature set, then you could check out the OnePlus Watch, which will be a great one that will last a little bit longer, and you just get to sacrifice about 0.04 inches in screen size, but have a much better battery life, considering the battery itself is like twice the size. So anyway, that about sums it up. Just a little quick look at the device itself. It's still a pretty nice watch, well finished, and if you have the wrist for it, it obviously gonna probably look pretty good, no matter what you do for it. I feel like this one is a little bit designed more towards working out, while the OnePlus Watch, even though it comes with a silicone strap, it probably caters more towards it's like daily usage instead of fitness one like this one is. And one last thing that I actually didn't mention is the build quality right here of this watch. So we have IP68, dust tight and water resistant, immersible up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. We have waterproofing at excuse me, what? So GSM Arena is a little bit confused right here. So they give you that there's IP68, dust tight and water resistant up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. And they also tell you that it has waterproofing of 5 ATMs, which is atmospheres. So it equates to about 50 meters in depth. And at the back of the watch, I can't really find any kind of labeling that would imply any one of these. So so you better kind of check it out with the actual official website to see what it offers. And GSM Arena doesn't really mention what the watch is made out of right here, but this looks to be stainless steel, I think. Let me quickly check, as this would probably be an important thing to mention. Yep, so like I said, this is stainless steel frame right here, and obviously the back is I believe this is usually glass, right? And we have also glass at the front, though this is what the at least being called just standard glass, so there is no sapphire or anything like that, which for durability purposes it will get scratched much easier than a watch that comes with a sapphire crystal on here. So something to keep in mind in terms of durability. But the frame itself being stainless steel, that should be pretty durable. So anyway, that's about it. Now, if you found this very helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.